Hello everyone, welcome to The Green Man. Hope you're all good and well. So for this Friday's album review, I'm reviewing the 8th studio album from the thrash metal band Protector and their latest release, Excessive Outburst of Depravity, which came out last week on the 1st of July via High Roller Records, and the album's 11 tracks and it's 47 minutes in length. And this is my first time experience with Protector. I did a bit of research on them and kind of found out that this is, like I say, it's their 8th album. They seem to have been around for quite some time and almost have two different eras. They have 4 albums from sort of late 80s and 90s, I think, and then from studio album number 5, which came out in 2013, which is Reanimated Homunculus, they've sort of had another set of 4 albums since then. And this is their latest one, Excessive Outburst of Depravity. So I would think this is a pretty good fast tempo thrash metal album with black metal vocals accompanying it. And I did enjoy this as a solid thrash metal album. If anything, what I thought might have improved it and might have improved my enjoyment of it even more was where there were rhythm and lead guitar combinations. I thought the album was really great, but I often found that there were lots of moments where I was noticing you just kind of had lots of the rhythm guitar riffs, but there was something I always kind of was like realizing was missing. But when the solos and the leads came in, I was like, the album really came to life, and for me it made it that bit better. And I would have liked maybe the tracks to add more of that of those kind of guitar solos and the lead guitar input, because when the rhythms and the leads came together, I thought the album really shone, and I really enjoyed it. But that said, if you like your just solid thrash metal, if you're a thrash metal fan, I would highly recommend this album because there's lots of great rhythms and they really alternate well with different styles of those rhythms, going from low end chugging to sort of chords which are higher up the neck of the guitar, I think, and just alternating those really well. So I'll dig into some of the tracks on this album now, and we have got the opening track, Last Stand Hill, which goes straight into this kind of blast beat drumming and the high speed shredding on the guitar. The chorus gives me a bit of an Immortal feel, but it sets up the album really nicely and sets the tone for the rest of the album. Pandemic Misery follows on with a similar style track and similar tempo. By the time you get to track 4, there's a bit of a kind of a break with that track. It's a bit longer, a bit more sort of a different structure, Open Skies and In the Seas. And I welcomed the changes on this track. I thought this was a really good track, quite interesting and something a little different. Infinite Tyranny had one of my favourite guitar rhythm and solo combinations that I was talking about earlier, and was one of my favourite tracks on the album. Loved Infinite Tyranny quite a bit. And Clythrophobia, which apparently is fear of being trapped, as I understand it, had a really sweet Megadeth-like groove to it, and some cool variations in the drumming as well. And it was really good to hear the guitar solo in this track for quite a long portion of the track, and that was one of my highlights from Excessive Outburst of Depravity. Clythrophobia possibly would win the crown for my favourite track on this particular album. I also quite enjoyed Shackled by Total Control as well. Enjoyed the alternating of the low end kind of chugging and with the sort of higher chords as well, and just liked the mix of that. And that was, as I say, one of the things I did enjoy on the album was was those kind of variations that you got from time to time. As I say, in sort of conclusion, this is definitely an album for you if you like, I think, your thrash kind of pure, and you just like kind of solid, no nonsense sounding thrash. But to be fair to this album, it does have some variations to it, but I think for me, perhaps it doesn't have quite the style of variations that I enjoy so much. And for me, it was a little bit similar sounding with the choices in some of the tracks as you went from track to track. I noticed some very similar similar chords, just similar things happening each time, I thought. And I just would have liked, as I say, a bit more of the rhythm and lead combinations, the solos coming in that bit more often. And I would have really loved this album, I think, more than I did. But as it is, I did enjoy the album a lot, and I'm still going to give this album a 7 out of 10. I still liked it quite a bit. And yeah, that's my album review for this Friday. I hope you enjoyed it, and do, as I say, if you like your thrash, or maybe if you just like metal generally, I think you still probably quite enjoy this album from Protector, so I do recommend it. Anyway, just forward notice ahead of Sunday, which is going to be my next video. I'm going to be doing my final episode of the album That series. Do join me there for that, because I'm talking about the album that reminds me of A Crazy Summer. This is the final episode in the series. I want to make it as good as I can make it, so I'm looking forward to sharing that one with you all on Sunday evening. Otherwise, from me, as always, have great weekends. Bye for now.